I'm breaking my silence. I have an unpopular opinion again. Hey, you might be asking how I got here. Well, if I recall correctly, it happened a week ago. I was scrolling through Twitter and fell upon some art drama. I had to investigate, it's what I do. Evidently, a YouTuber named Kazak uploaded a tutorial for coloring dark-skinned characters. Seems fine, until you read the title. How to color dark skin without getting cancelled. You need to leave! A lot of people thought that this was backhanded, so the creator received backlash for it, and now the video is gone. I wasn't able to watch the video before then, so I can't comment on the content of the video. So I'm just going to comment on the title. Is this actually a justified concern, or is it just someone being snarky? Well, I asked my subscribers what they thought about this particular tweet. Every artist is obligated to be able to draw fat/chubby proportions, black skin tones and features, disabled characters, etc. Doesn't matter the art style, if you're an artist, you must know how to draw them. I had mixed responses, but the general consensus was people disagreed with the word obligation because no one is obligated to draw anything, but agree being able to depict more variety only makes you a better artist, which is integral if you want to make that your career. Therefore, while not an obligation, it's something you should aim for. I think this is the common sense answer. I don't think Twitter thinks that this is the common sense answer. You guys remember the time an artist drew the Sonic characters as humans and there were actually some people upset that Knuckles wasn't drawn as black? From Sonic, the Hedgehog? Or how about how Into the Spider-Verse, the amazing movie, also has the worst fandom to ever walk the fucking earth? After that movie was released, a constant array of people decided they needed to make sure that these characters were as on model as possible in every single interpretation that they were in. Saying things like, that's 3A, not 4C, he's too light, he doesn't have enough wrinkles, where are her muscles, what did you do with his ethnic features, why is he dressed like a white girl instead of an Indian? That one didn't get enough backlash for me. Twitter can be very specific when it comes to how certain characters should be drawn, and this isn't a reaction born out of nothing. It most likely was caused by how the media and how society would treat these characters for as long as you look back. I mean, you don't even have to mention individual Twitter artists, you can just turn on the TV. That only excuses like 30% of it though. So I'm not saying all the critiques are in bad faith. I will give the benefit of the doubt, right? But this one is. Boring, yawning, sloppy, lazy, with 30,000 likes, a direct quote tweet that the artist can see. Then to explain yourself by saying things like, oh, I'm just tired of seeing the same body type, I want to see something different. The internet has truly done a number on us because individualism and entitlement got these people delusional. The world doesn't revolve around you. If you want specific art, commission it. So many of these criticisms of art I see are straight up mindless. What really got me was this little interaction thread featuring certified Chad RJ Palmer and a other guy and you'll see how this ties into my point. Okay, but it completely changes one of the main design aspects of Miguel and just focuses on make woman have big booba, small waist, feminine hip, ooga booga. So yeah, it's kind of boring and sloppy. LMAO.
Who gives a shit? This is also quite muscular compared to the way the artist normally draws. An attempt to beef her up was made.
An attempt is an overstatement. It's not that hard to make a woman look older and muscular. If you can follow the Spider-Man suit to a T, you can do the same thing about the body. LMAO.
Hey, maybe learn how to draw before you start making comments about how easy something is.
And the guy started molding, but like that's not how it works. That's like saying if you can sing country, you can easily do opera. Like while the baseline skill set is similar, you still need to practice and hone specific skills. And that's why I feel like that a lot of the times this push for accuracy isn't even in good faith. Like, let's not pretend there are some unloved souls who love the chance to smear someone who genuinely might not be good at something. A lot of people just want the opportunity to feel superior. It's also odd how people immediately assume that any sort of accidental erasure of ethnic features or signs of aging or weight is intentionally malicious. It's intentionally they're trying to, like, they're trying to get rid of those. Like, a lot of people don't draw like that from a daily basis, and it's beautiful that a lot more people are doing that now and that we're trying to push to more diversity and interesting character designs. But to assume that everyone has that like that's like the factory reset, like we just come out the womb like that, no, you have to learn, and it can take a long time to learn. I guess my argument and the point of this video is that these two reactions are two sides of the same coin. It's not far-fetched to believe that a greater than zero number of artists have intentional attempts at depicting black characters whitewashed or incorrectly, right? It's also not far-fetched to assume that some people are genuinely afraid of trying, but even more of failing, because if they don't, they'll be persecuted on the cross. But the critical thinking to distinguish these two is just lost, I guess? The issue is now we have two groups of people that we can't distinguish the difference between, okay? We have the people who want to draw more diverse bodies, hair types, and disabilities, but don't know how to draw that well, or aren't experienced in those things, so when they do it, they do it incorrectly. Any of the people that just don't want to draw that, but they know they'll get called out if they don't. And either way, no one's happy because they feel like they have to draw a certain thing to avoid backlash and harassment. I think representation in art means way more when it's genuine. I don't know if I'd want to support an artist who was just drawing POC and need a quota, or was just drawing bodies they straight up found disgusting and unattractive. It just promotes performative activism. They just drew what they wanted, and I determined whether to support them at face value. And I also feel like at the same time, people should be more forgiving towards artists who are learning, because it seems like we have somehow went backwards when it comes to that kind of thing. Like, skilled artists still have so much to learn, especially if they don't draw certain things often. And it's just kind of frustrating seeing artists consistently get harassed because they didn't draw something right, they didn't appeal to the crowd. And the main people getting testy usually can barely draw to begin with. Like, we all start somewhere, but be humble. So back to those two ways of thinking. I don't think anyone should draw diversity due to a sense of misplaced obligation, nor do I think people should do it for peer approval. I think people should aim to study art and diversify their portfolios because it can only help them grow as an artist. And if you want to stay in your comfort area, that's fine too. Art is such a personal thing. The only person your art has to appeal to is you. And if you feel like your art is fulfilling, then no one can take that away from you. Spooksy, signing out.